Hello rockstar engineers! If this is the first time you're on this channel and you want to improve your communication skills as a non-native English speaker or grow in your career, subscribe below so you don't miss any future videos. My name is Aditya Guthey, speaker and a career performance hacker for engineers. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to handle criticism, especially when it is bitter. Let me tell you what that means. Recently, I was talking to my mentor and he was giving me feedback about the current state of my business. When we started talking about my marketing efforts, he started criticizing my videos. He said, my videos are not good enough, my background sucks, my camera sucks, the content I provide in my video sucks. And he went on to even say that the fact that I'm using career performance hacker seems like a fake. It was a bitter and ugly feedback. Having put so much love into everything that I do with my business, his criticism hurt me deeply. How do you handle the criticism when you put so much love into something? You may also face similar criticism at work, maybe in a scenario where you have put in a lot of time, efforts and love into building a certain software over a couple of months, and your manager says that it isn't good enough, that there are design flaws in the software, that there are so many bugs in the software, and that he would have gotten a better product had he given the project to your colleague instead. Besides professional work, you may also experience bitter criticism in your personal life. That happens to me all the time as a husband from my wife. Your spouse may accuse you maybe for not spending enough time with him or her, or that you're not doing enough for the family, even though according to you, you're doing everything you can beyond your means to provide for the family and support the family. All these scenarios can deeply hurt us. So how do you handle criticism when it is deeply hurting? The first step in handling criticism is to understand who you are in the situation and what you want in the situation. So you can determine the part of the criticism that is real, that you can implement in your life, and the part of the criticism that is not real and needs to be ignored. Who you are and what you want in the situation is the key. Let me tell you what that means. Whenever someone criticizes us, there is this gray area where the feedback kind of makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. So it feels confusing and hurting. Through the step one of understanding who we are and what we want in the situation, it clears the confusion so we can take the feedback that applies to us and ignore the feedback that doesn't apply to us. In the example of my mentor giving me feedback, who I was in this situation is being someone who wants to create an impact in my audience. And what I want in this situation is to just upload the videos. When I understood who I was and what I want in this situation, it helped me understand what part of my mentor's feedback can I apply and what part can I ignore. Even though my mentor's feedback was tough, there are some really good points he made, like improving the video quality, content, camera, and so on. But the challenge was that what I want in the situation is merely to upload the video. And the main challenge I was having is mental blocks that my videos are not good enough, that people don't watch the videos and find it valuable. These are the main challenges I was trying to overcome. And if I take my mentor's feedback and try to implement all of them, like making the video quality better, content better, it adds an additional layer of complexity to uploading videos, which will be overall detrimental. My mentor's feedback would be great at a later time in my career when I don't have any resistance in uploading videos, but it might not apply to me right now at this moment. Because I had clarity on who I was and what I want in this situation, I was able to say, alright, this feedback is great, but it doesn't apply to me right now. Similarly, if you're facing criticism at your work from your manager, ask yourself, who are you at your work and what you want from the situation. Some of the responses could be, who I'm at work is someone who wants to make an impact in my customers' lives. Or, who I am at work is someone who wants to collect a paycheck. There's nothing wrong with it. Just be clear on who you are at your work. Also be clear in what you want from the situation. Do you want to grow in your career? Do you want recognition? Do you want to have greater influence? Or do you want to make a lot more money? When you're clear on who you are and what you want, you can respond accordingly to the situation. I get it. It's always not an easy thing to understand who you are and what you want in the situation. In fact, most of the work I do with my clients is centered around helping them understand who they are and what they want in the situation. Because once they get clarity around these two questions, they go ahead and automatically take actions. Recently, one of my clients was criticized for the lack of his technical abilities and leadership abilities in delivering a certain project. Because my client understood that who he is in the situation is someone who wants to create an impact in the customers' lives, instead of taking his manager's feedback personally and feeling sad by it, he went ahead and spoke to the customer directly to ask them how the customer felt about the project he delivered. Gladly, he got a positive feedback. And when he got a positive feedback from the customer himself, instead of worrying about his manager's feedback, he was joyful about it, and he decided that his manager's feedback doesn't apply to him. I know it's easier said than done to not take criticism personally and not to react to the criticism. And that's where step number 2 comes. Step number 2 is to listen to the signs of depression or insecurities. Let me tell you what that means. As you can see in this graph, whenever someone is dealing with their own insecurities or depression, it typically shows off as anger or criticism that is directed towards others. Most often, they're projecting their own insecurities onto others. You can identify these signs of insecurities or depression when the other person starts talking about topics that are completely irrelevant to the one that's being discussed. In my case, my mentor started criticizing that your title, Career Performance Hacker, it is a complete fake. You have to change it to something else, which has no relevance to the feedback he was giving at that time about my videos. Where did that come from? That was a clear sign of indication that my mentor was going through his own things, and it has nothing to do with me. When you believe that whatever the bitter things the other person tells you is coming from their own insecurities and have nothing to do with you, it helps you stay calm and composed without engaging the other person in an argument, which will only make things worse for both of you. In summary, in today's video, we have explored 2 steps on how to handle criticism, especially when it is bitter. If you have any questions, make sure to leave a comment and I respond to every single question. Thank you for listening.